Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 630 based on novel. So let's start. As for whether this matter is true, this little one doesn't know. However, with the prince accompanying them, that means the ancient emperor must have agreed, or else the city lord wouldn't order the city to be sealed, the burly man explained. Choosing a concubine. Wang Lin was startled and didn't think too much. He just thought that the emperor of the ancient Tao, the place he was going to protect, sending people all the way to the other two countries to choose a concubine was absurd. However, since I can meet the people of the ancient Tao here, they must have a detailed map to head to the 12 countries of the ancient Tao. This does save me some time in looking for a map. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin was going to inquire more when he looked toward the city. Footsteps came from the city and then two teams of soldiers in green armor rushed out from the gate. There were nearly 1,000 people among the two teams. They quickly came out of the city and gave off a killing aura. At the same time, 3 people walked out from the city. The person at the front among the 3 was a burly man. He was nearly 10 feet tall and was obviously far taller than the others. He wore golden armor and had a red cape. He gave off a sense of pressure without being angry and walked forward in large strides. Behind the burly man in golden armor, to the left, was a middle-aged man. He was a handsome middle-aged man who wore a blue shirt like a cultivator and exuded a celestial aura. This man had 3 strands of beard on his chin, his skin was white, and he held a black fan. Although he gave off the aura of a celestial, his eyes were clearly demonic. His left eye had a strange fog swirling inside. The last person stood on the right. He was a young man in black. He had a cold expression, but it could not hide the violence and killing intent in his eyes. He stood there as if there was a fire burning inside and outside his body, but this fire was cold. The 2 of them obviously treated the burly man as their leader. He walked past the 2 teams of soldiers and looked into the distance. He seemed to detect something and turned to look at Wang Lin. Not only him, but the 2 people behind him turned their heads at the same time. Their gazes locked into the 9 stars between Wang Lin's eyebrows and their eyes lit up. Greetings, God Lord, City Lord, Demon Lord, and Devil Lord. The 2 leather-armored burly men next to Wang Lin and the 5 outside the gate all knelt down without hesitation. They were extremely respectful. However, the burly man in the golden armor ignored them. He looked at Wang Lin in confusion. This fellow clan member is very unfamiliar. I'm Blackstone City's City Lord. I wonder, does fellow clan member need help? The burly man in the golden armor clasped his hand at Wang Lin. I'm Kongsha. The middle-aged man in blue with demonic eyes smiled and clasped his hands at Wang Lin. Only the black-robed young looked at Wang Lin and remained silent. Wang Lin smiled and clasped his hands. My name is Wang Lin. By chance, I heard that the prince and the ancient Tao ambassadors are dropping by. I'd like to see them if you will, but if it's inconvenient, I'll leave. He didn't have any sense of arrogance because of his cultivation level and high status. Wang Lin's personality was always like this. If others were respectful to him, he would naturally be respectful back. Since you came here, you are our guest. Brother Wang can stay and wait with us. The burly man in golden armor smiled. Looking at the other party, especially when he felt the ancient god power from this burly man, Wang Lin felt a familiar feeling. He smiled as he stepped forward and arrived next to the 3 of them. Brother Wang is also a god lord and presumably has also passed the 2nd trial. You should have entered the stage of fusing the demon and refining the devil. How is your progress? The burly man looked at Wang Lin and smiled. Fusing the demon and refining the devil. Wang Lin's heart trembled, but his expression remained the same. He shook his head with a smile and didn't speak. Connecting, fusing, and refining is very difficult. How could it be so easy? From his appearance, he gives off no demon or devil aura, meaning he is still figuring it out. Liang Yun, this is the same as not asking, the young man in black said coldly. His gaze swept by Wang Lin with a hint of disdain. Meng Luo. The burly man in golden armor frowned as he looked at the young man in black. He clasped his hands at Wang Lin with a bitter smile. I presume Wang Lin has seen that this Meng Luo is a devil lord and that his personality is bad. I hope Brother Wang won't mind too much. This connecting, fusing, and refining is indeed too difficult. I haven't made much progress myself. The burly man in golden armor apologized. No problem. Wang Lin smiled. He really didn't care about these little things. They chatted for a while longer. The burly man in golden armor and Kongsha were trying to determine Wang Lin's origin, but in the end, they didn't get any answers. They gradually lost the intent to talk and became silent. The silence didn't last long before Wang Lin noticed something, and he casually looked at the sky. Kongsha had been watching Wang Lin, and upon seeing Wang Lin's action, he also looked up but found nothing. However, just as he was about to withdraw his gaze, his eyes narrowed. The burly man and the young man in black also looked at the sky with respect and excitement. At this moment, the sky changed and layers of ripples echoed. A thunderous rumble echoed as a fist appeared out of thin air and punched the sky. As the roar echoed, the sky seemed to collapse and even more ripples echoed. More and more cracks appeared, until it looked like the sky was going to collapse. Two giant hands broke through the sky and tore open a large rift. A giant green shadow hundreds of thousands of feet tall with a horn on its head tore open the sky and stepped out. This green shadow wore a green suit of armor and gave off monstrous demonic aura. This demonic aura turned into a fog that spread endlessly in all directions. This was clearly an ancient demon. Its eyes were blood red and filled with violent intent. It immediately let out a roar as it appeared. It took a large step out of the rift and landed on the earth. When its foot landed, shockwave spread in all directions, carrying dirt like a wave. As Wang Lin looked at the ancient demon, his heart trembled and his eyes narrowed. This is no ordinary ancient demon. Wang Lin immediately saw the problem at a glance. He had seen ancient demons in the cave world, but, like ancient gods, unless they revealed their true bodies, they looked like ordinary people. But even after revealing their true bodies, they would maintain their consciousness and not fall into madness. Most importantly, the demonic aura this ancient demon gave off was as powerful as that of Empyrean Exalt cultivators. The moment the ancient demon stepped on the earth and let out a roar, the man in the golden armor, the demon lord, and the black-robed youth knelt down on one knee and respectfully said, "Greetings, Prince." Not only them, but the 1,000 soldiers on the side all knelt down and were all excited. Even the people inside the city that saw the ancient demon all felt their hearts tremble and knelt on the ground. The only person not kneeling inside and outside the city was Wang Lin. The golden-armored man immediately noticed that Wang Lin had remained standing. He was startled and was filled with disbelief. Kongsha was the same, and even the young man in black revealed terror. How could a mere prince make Wang Lin kneel? Not even a Grand Empyrean could make Wang Lin kneel. Even before the Celestial Emperor, Wang Lin only needed to clasp his hands. Wang Lin calmly looked at the roaring ancient demon and saw the person standing on its head. He wore a royal robe and his black hair fluttered in the wind. He was a young man who looked ordinary but had an unspeakable temperament. Behind him, there was a woman in blue. She looked fairly young, and when her gaze fell on Wang Lin, she was surprised. The youth in the royal robe also saw Wang Lin, who was the only one standing. The sky rumbled once more. The young man raised his head and no longer looked at Wang Lin as he looked back at the sky. Another huge shadow walked out from the rift that had been torn open. This shadow was slightly smaller, and when it stepped out, it revealed the two horns on its head and its body was black. It was an ancient devil. This ancient devil's eyes were also red and filled with madness and violence, as if it was about to lose control. It let out a howl. There were 7 people standing on its head. Among the 7 were 5 men and 2 women. They clasped their hands at the young man, and when they looked at the ground, their attention was attracted by Wang Lin, who was the only person standing. "My clansman is disrespectful. You all saw something embarrassing." The young man smiled at the 7 above the ancient devil. Then he turned to look at the burly man in the golden armor next to Wang Lin. Liang Yun, is he your new recruit? Reporting to Prince. I don't know this person, he has just appeared here. He said he wanted to see the prince. This humble one was wrong to let him stay. This humble one will kill him right now. The big man in golden armor revealed anger and killing intent. No need, the prince said coldly. His eyes lit up and gathered on Wang Lin. Tuo Luo, kill him. After the prince spoke, the ancient demon hundreds of feet tall below him let out a roar. It raised its right claws and reached toward Wang Lin. It looked like it wanted to grab Wang Lin and crush him. The sharp claws seemed like they would split open the ovid. They contained monstrous demonic aura and closed in on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression was calm and his white hair fluttered. He let out a sigh and walked forward. For the first time, he felt like he was not suited for the ancient clan. I can see a lot about the ancient clan's imperial power from this small matter. Aside from getting a map jade, Wang Lin had stayed here to see just how strong the imperial power of the ancient clan really was. A mere prince, not even the ancient Sha emperor, would make an entire city kneel. And he merely didn't kneel, and that already shocked everyone. The golden-armored burly man was originally polite, but in a flash, he was filled with killing intent and anger. It was as if not kneeling was a great crime. And as for the prince, just because he hadn't knelt, the prince was going to take his life. From the prince's expression, killing a clan member was as casual as breathing. This would only happen when the imperial power had reached an extreme. Most importantly, all the people kneeling were looking at the prince with reverence and excitement from the bottom of their hearts. It was as they would do anything the prince told them to, even kill themselves. Since the ancient Sha is like this, then the ancient Tao must also be like this. Perhaps I'm not suited for this place, Wang Lin silently pondered and stepped out. When he took the third step, the ancient demon's claws closed in. Everyone watched as the ancient demon's claws overlapped with Wang Lin's figure. It looked like Wang Lin was caught. After everyone saw this, whether it was the golden-armored burly man, demon lord Kongsha, the black-robed youth, everyone kneeling there, and even the leather-armored soldier who had given Wang Lin the jade, they all revealed cold gazes. Their cold gazes seemed to condense into a sentence. All who disrespect the imperial power will die, Wang Lin's voice echoed in the world. The ancient demon's claws, which had overlapped with his body, seemed to become transparent and he calmly walked through them. Or it could be said that Wang Lin had become transparent and the ancient demon's claws had grabbed nothing. A rumble echoed as Wang Lin walked toward the ancient devil. The ancient Tao ambassadors were on. When the ancient demon grabbed nothing, the madness in its eyes became even more intense. Its right hand reached for Wang Lin's back, but the eyes of the prince narrowed. He stared at Wang Lin with a serious expression. Not only him, but all the people kneeling were startled. From their view, Wang Lin should have died, but he had somehow walked out. The pupils of the golden-armored burly man shrank. He was also a 9-star ancient god, and he knew he couldn't do this. Perhaps only a demon lord's body could be so strange. However, Kongsha's heart was in chaos. The moment Wang Lin had walked out, he hadn't sensed any demonic power, but this just made it even more unusual. He? Who is he? The young man in black was the most shocked. He was a devil lord, and he thought he had seen through Wang Lin. However, after seeing Wang Lin calmly walk out of the claws, he took a deep breath, but his eyes were filled with battle intent. The 7 people on the ancient devil had come here from the ancient Tao on the order of the ancient Tao emperor. When they saw Wang Lin not kneeling, they thought they would get to watch a show. However, they couldn't help but be surprised when Wang Lin walked out, but they didn't take it to heart. After all, this was a matter within the ancient Sha, and it had nothing to do with them. However, when they saw Wang Lin walk toward them, they were puzzled. Wang Lin was not fast or slow, and behind him, the ancient demon's claws had returned. It let out another roar and reached toward Wang Lin once more. Wang Lin frowned slightly and stopped. As the claws closed in, he turned to look at the ancient demon. "You courting death?" His words didn't rumble like thunder and the world didn't change colors. However, the ancient demon shivered and the madness in its eyes disappeared, turning into fear. It was as if Wang Lin's gaze was enough to cause it to collapse and feel the shroud of death. The ancient demon's roar stopped and it let out a miserable cry. It quickly retreated and knelt down on the ground. Its huge body started to kowtow at Wang Lin. When this happened, everyone around gasped and revealed shock and horror. The battle intent in the eyes of the black-robed youth immediately dissipated. His body trembled and became covered in cold sweat. The golden-armored burly man shivered. He thought about how he had said that he was going to kill Wang Lin. He could not have expected Wang Lin to terrify the ancient demon with just a gaze. The prince and the woman next to the prince flew up into the air. They looked down in shock. The prince was well aware of the strength of this ancient demon. It could even battle against an Empyrean exalt in the Celestial clan. However, this powerful ancient demon was now terrified to this degree. This showed that this person who had knelt had terrifying strength. You, Prince Jidu's expression was pale. Wang Lin ignored everyone and withdrew his gaze from the ancient demon. As everyone's gazes gathered on him, he walked toward the ancient devil. This ancient devil's eyes were originally red and gave off a sense of madness, but at this moment, it let out a whimper. Its whole body trembled and it crouched on the ground as a show of obedience. It didn't dare to move. The 7 people above its head were terrified as they watched Wang Lin walk over. Aside from an old man, the other 6 all retreated and erupted their respective ancient clan powers. Among the 7, 4 of them had reached 9 stars and the other 2 had reached a certain degree in terms of crossing, fusing, and refining. The strongest was the old man who hadn't retreated as Wang Lin closed in. His expression was extremely heavy as he let out a roar and 9 stars appeared between his eyebrows and in both his eyes. A total of 27 stars. These 27 stars emitted a ghostly light and 3 large shadows appeared behind the old man. They were an ancient god, ancient demon, an ancient devil. These 3 shadows stood there and glared at the incoming Wang Lin. No matter what issue you have with the ancient Shi, it has nothing to do with our ancient Tao. The old man felt bitterness in his heart. He didn't know why Wang Lin was walking toward them. Liang Yun's group of 3 has cultivation equal to arcane void. Perhaps due to the difference in bloodline, there are some differences. As for this old man with 27 stars, his cultivation is equal to void turbulent. When I was in the cave world, my 27 stars were not complete and slowly become complete during my hundreds of years at the Celestial clan, but the power I can display is far above that of this person. Perhaps this is the difference in bloodlines. Yimo's cultivation level was obviously higher than 7-colored's, so that's why 7-colored got Li Guang's help. Li Guang's cultivation level should have been Empyrean Exalt according to my understanding of the ancestral city. The chances of him being an ascendant Empyrean is not high, or else he wouldn't have died. From this point of view, Yimo should have power similar to that of an Empyrean Exalt. He had all 27 stars integrated and had passed all 3 trials. Then this ancient clan member is comparable to Empyrean Exalts. The ancient clan should be similar to the Celestial clan in this regard. There shouldn't be more than 1,000 people with this much power. Wang Lin stepped onto the arm of the ancient devil and arrived on its head. He looked at the old man, causing the old man's expression to change and sweat to appear on his forehead. The old man could not bear the pressure from Wang Lin's eyes and subconsciously retreated a few steps. If he was like this, there was no need to mention the 6 people behind him. They all retreated with pale expressions. Did all of you come from the ancient Tao Imperial City? Wang Lin's expression was calm as he spoke. He gave off the aura of a grandmaster and created an invisible pressure that made the old man's mouth dry up and his heartbeat accelerate. He only had this feeling when facing the ancient emperor, but what caused that feeling was the heritage of the ancient emperor. The person before him replied on their own power. Yes? I was given the name of Yi Hai by the ancient emperor and this is my 6th trip visiting the ancient Shi to help the emperor look for a concubine. The old man took a deep breath and stopped trying to resist the pressure from Wang Lin, instead revealing respect. Hundreds of years to select a concubine. Wang Lin heard it again and was still surprised. The old man smiled bitterly and nodded. Wang Lin casually asked, "It's a bit interesting. Has one been chosen yet?" This time, with Prince Jidu leading us, we went to 6 countries and chose 3 women. The last one is at Blackstone City. After this, we will return to the ancient Tao. The old man responded quickly and didn't dare to hide anything. He quickly slapped the ancient devil beneath him. The ancient devil's body trembled and ripples echoed as 2 beautiful women walked out. Their eyes were filled with fear as they bowed at Wang Lin. The old man respectfully said, "These 2 were the ones chosen." Wang Lin's gaze swept past the 2 women and then he calmly said, "Since you came from the ancient Tao, give me a map to the ancient Tao Imperial City." The old man was startled. After hesitating for a moment, he took out a jade and respectfully handed it Wang Lin. After taking the jade, Wang Lin took a look and walked off from the ancient devil's head. He was ready to leave. As for the prince, Wang Lin didn't consider him worthy of his attention. "Senior, please wait," the prince immediately said before appearing before Wang Lin. He gave Wang Lin a deep bow and his expression was very sincere. "Junior Jidu offended Senior earlier. I hope Senior doesn't mind. Please give Junior a chance to compensate you." "Oh? How will you compensate me?" Wang Lin revealed a smile that wasn't a smile. After seeing Wang Lin speak, the prince became spirited and he quickly clasped his hands. "I ask Senior to please wait for a moment. Once I send off the ancient Tao ambassadors, I'll definitely satisfy Senior." After Wang Lin nodded, the prince immediately sent out a message to the burly man in the golden armor below. "Please invite Lady Songji to go with the ancient Tao ambassadors." Shortly after, a woman wearing blue walked out from the city gate. Her appearance was not perfect, but she had a pure temperament. As she walked out, she raised her head, and it was at this moment that Wang Lin looked over. Their gazes seemed to collide in the sky. The autumn wind blew across the black earth. This was a season that was cold at first but then warm. There were mountains and forests outside Blackstone City, and dried leaves flew with the wind. A dead yellow leaf flew in the wind and fell outside of Blackstone City, blocking the gazes from the man and woman from meeting. When the leaf scattered, Wang Lin withdrew his gaze. This was a very ordinary woman. She had the bloodline of an ancient demon but gave off no demonic aura. Instead, she gave off the aura of a pure white lotus. Below the woman's right eye was a birthmark. Not only did this birthmark not destroy her purity, it added an extra touch. With it, even though she was not an absolute beauty, she still made one's heart pound. Like her name, Songji was as exquisite as someone in a painting. Songji greets the prince and fellow lords of the ancient Tao ambassadors. Her face was slightly red as she bowed at everyone. "Your surname is Song? She is the person the prince spoke of?" The old man on the ancient devil recovered. When he looked at the woman, his expression became serious. "That's right, her last name is Song." The prince smiled and continued, "Speaking of which, she is part of the Grand Empyrean Song family. However, the Grand Empyrean's family is large and she is from a faraway branch family. However, at Blackstone City, her family is considered powerful." The old man on top of the ancient devil pondered for a moment and then clasped his hands at the prince. "Many thanks for Prince's help. I'll take this woman away. If she doesn't get chosen, then we will send her back." "Good. Songji, follow the ancient Tao ambassadors." The prince didn't care about this at all. He smiled as he gave the command and then looked at Wang Lin with fervor in his eyes. The woman named Songji seemed to let out a sigh, but her personality was very gentle and she could not refuse this matter. She bit her lower lip and walked toward the ancient devil. Wang Lin was directly in the woman's path. When she got near him, she bowed slightly to show respect and then walked around Wang Lin toward the ancient devil. A faint fragrance entered Wang Lin's nose and gradually dissipated as she left. When she stepped onto the ancient demon and next to the old man, the wind caused her hair to cover up her face. However, it could not hide the look of melancholy and unwillingness in her eyes as she looked at her hometown. "I hope I won't be picked. I'm not that beautiful, so I should not be selected. Auntie Chang and Sister Dong are still waiting for me." The woman lowered her head and her hair covered the faint tears in her eyes. After the ancient Tao ambassadors received Songji, They politely clasped their hands at the prince and Wang Lin. The ancient devil suddenly looked up at the sky and let out a roar. It jumped toward the rift that had opened in the sky. It then turned into black fog and disappeared inside. This place was very far from the ancient Tao imperial city. Even with the ancient devil, it would take them several months to return home. After the ancient Tao ambassadors left, the golden-armored burly man led everyone back into the city. A moment later, the outside of the city was empty, aside from Wang Lin, the trembling ancient demon, the prince, and the woman behind the prince. Prince Jidu smiled and clasped his hands at Wang Lin. I still don't know what Senior's name is. Can you tell me? Wang Lin looked at the prince and slowly said, Wang Lin. So it turns out to be Senior Wang. Senior, this is not a good place to talk. Junior has a palace in the Dark Country. If Senior doesn't mind, we can go there and talk in detail about how Junior will compensate Senior for my reckless behavior before. The prince looked very sincere and clasped his hands at Wang Lin. Looking at how the prince was so respectful now compared to the indifference before, Wang Lin's eyes lit up an undetectable amount. The imperial power is still very weak before power. The reason the imperial family has so much power is mainly due to Grand Empyrean Gu Dao. Once Gu Dao is no more, the imperial family will lose power just like the celestial clan. Wang Lin silently pondered and then nodded. Prince Jidu was very happy and respectfully moved aside, letting Wang Lin step onto the ancient demon first. The woman beside the prince wanted to speak but was forced to swallow her words by the prince's gaze. The ancient demon was very obedient when Wang Lin stepped on it. Although its eyes were still red, they no longer contained any madness and it didn't even howl. It jumped into the rift in the sky and disappeared. After it disappeared, the rift in the sky dissipated as well and returned to normal. It was as if everything that had just happened never happened. However, just as the ancient demon left, a cold and majestic voice entered the ears of Liang Yun, Kongsha, and the black-robed youth. The three of you are not allowed to spread the news of Senior Wang being here, and don't allow others to spread this matter. If any information leaks out, the three of your families will be wiped out. This voice belonged to Prince Jidu. The dark country of the ancient Sha. This country was covered by fog year-round, which was how it obtained its name. Rumor had it that below the dark country was a fog-like life form. After being captured by the ancient ancestor, it had been sealed to form this country. Inside the fog, there was a horseshoe-shaped mountain. On it stood a large palace that gave off a powerful atmosphere. There were many servants and guards living at the palace. On this day, the fog above the palace split apart, revealing the night sky. A huge rift appeared and a giant ancient demon came out. The moment the ancient demon appeared, everyone inside the palace noticed it. The servants and guards all knelt on the ground. Welcome back, Prince. The neat voices, respectful gesture, and their excited expressions all showed that Prince Jidu was an extremely noble existence in their eyes. The giant ancient demon landed on a large square. This square was obviously prepared for the ancient demon so it could land. The ancient demon landed and knelt down so its head was touching the ground. Wang Lin calmly walked down. Behind him were the prince and the woman, who felt wronged. After Wang Lin walked down, he looked at the submissive giant ancient demon. This ancient demon is pretty good. It is this ancient demon's honor to receive Senior's praise. Father gifted it to me to help with travel and protect me. This kind of ancient demon is rare. He was a warrior of my ancient Sha before, but, unfortunately, after his 27 stars fused, he failed to obtain the ancient ancestor's recognition. He degraded back into a demon and lost his mind. The prince sighed after he spoke. Wang Lin nodded. His gaze swept the ancient demon again before he turned to look at the palace. His actions were noticed by Prince Jidu. After hesitating a bit, he clenched his teeth and spoke. If Senior Wang likes this ancient demon, then Junior is willing to gift it to Senior. Oh. Wang Lin looked at Jidu. Prince Jidu also looked at Wang Lin, and his expression was extremely sincere. Wang Lin slowly said, "This is the compensation you were talking about. Senior misunderstands. How can a mere giant ancient demon compensate Senior? Senior, let us head into the place to talk. The prince smiled and led Wang Lin forward. The three of them walked into the palace before the square. This palace was very luxurious but still gave off an overbearing aura. After Wang Lin stepped into the hall, the prince quickly walked forward before Wang Lin. He clasped his hands with an extremely serious expression and suddenly bowed. Junior Ancient Sha Prince Ji Du greets white-haired Ascendant Empyrean. After the prince spoke, a cry came from the woman behind him. She was filled with disbelief and retreated several steps. She was completely shocked by her brother's words. White-haired Ascendant Empyrean. The ancient clans were constantly spying on the movements of the Celestial clan, especially news of new powerful cultivators appearing. The ancient clan had naturally paid a great deal of attention to Wang Lin. They had paid even more attention to him than the 5 Grand Empyreans. After all, the 5 Grand Empyreans were known factors, but they knew very little about the number 1 Ascendant Empyrean. There was a hint of surprise in Wang Lin's eyes, and his gaze toward Prince Ji Du gradually became cold. Junior is not testing Senior. Senior appeared in Blackstone City, where it is close to the sea that separates us and the Celestial clan. Senior also has the power to terrify the ancient demon with a stare, and you didn't try to hide your identity by telling me your name. Moreover, Junior has a list of pictures of the powerful members of the Celestial clan, and Senior's picture has been added. However, only the 3 imperial families have access to these pictures, so outsiders won't recognize Senior. The prince broke out in cold sweat from Wang Lin's cold gaze. However, he clenched his teeth and remained still. He took out the jade and respectfully handed it to Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression was still cold as he took the jade. His divine sense swept it and he immediately saw the portraits of the 5 Grand Empyreans and all the Ascendant Empyreans. There were a lot of Empyrean exalts as well. However, only his portrait and those of the 5 Grand Empyreans gave off a golden glow. All the other portraits looked very ordinary. This video will end here.